the reason that expanding the court has become such a mainstream conversation, I think is largely due to the work of We Demand Justice. And I think, you know, I worked on the president's campaign. I know the conversations that we're having, so I say that with confidence. Talk to me a little bit about the advocacy efforts around the court, and then we're going to go to our political experts right here to get into it, to my right and to my left. But talk to me a little bit about your advocacy efforts around the conversation around the court, because for one political party in this country, the courts have been a voting issue. You know, my friends who are Republican strategists, that has been an issue that they have organized around. It has not been a mainstream conversation for all voters and particularly Democratic voters. So talk a little bit about that. Tamara, I'm going to start with you. Then Donald, I want you to jump in.
Thank you for that question. You know, Demand Justice started in 2018 because Democrats weren't doing anything about the courts. We had watched Merrick Garland sit and wither, right? The first black president had a Supreme Court nominee, and the Republicans changed the rules so that they could get the Supreme Court justice that they wanted. And then they keep changing the rules. When you talk to everyday people, our communities understand the impact that the Supreme Court has on our lives, but our members of Congress, not all of them, but many of them, act as if, well, don't worry about that. Don't worry about the courts. Don't worry about it. It's fine. It's fine. If you vote for me, we'll pass a law. I'm going to pass a law. It's going to change everything. The Supreme Court has shown us over and over again that they don't care about their laws. They don't care about any of your laws. What they care about is controlling power, right? And so for us, when we talk to everyday people about the courts, we're saying when you vote, your vote has so much power. That means that when you vote for the right candidate, they're going to have the opportunity to not just put Supreme Court justices on the bench, they're going to put federal lower court justices on the bench. That's where most of us have our day in court, right? In the circuit court and the district court. We have to have a pipeline of the right kind of justices to make that happen. So the best example of this is when RBG passed away, I was, you know, going around in DC, everybody asked you, what do you do? What do you do? What do you do? I said, well, I work on the courts. And it was black folks. They were like, oh, we got to add seats to the Supreme Court. And I said, well, why? Why we got to add seats? It's easy. It's broken. People understand it's a game. And when the rules aren't working, the Republicans change the rules to make them work for them. We have power now. At least I think we have power. And we have an opportunity to make the playing field more even for our communities and for our people. And that's why I think we're seeing in the course of 2 years that the majority of Americans now want to see court expansion as a real viable option to making our democracy more robust.